Hey folks, I thought I would just chat a little bit about a blog post I did on where my blogs are hosted, which is at twitch-official.blogspot.com. I figured I'd chat about this particular blog I posted on January 2nd of 2020. The blog was basically about resources for industrial music production, recording, and writing. And I figured it'd be helpful for some of you viewers that aren't actually subscribed or following that blog, that it might be helpful to actually post some of these resources in the description of this YouTube video. So when I got started writing industrial music and when I was considering purchasing gear and stuff, there was a site that I frequented, and it is now in archive, and it was called New York Industrial Front. I'm not sure if some of you are familiar with that, but that's one of the sites. There was all kinds of things that happened there. They had how to make industrial for free, how to make industrial for next to nothing, and advice for industrial bands that are attempting to play out or are playing out. And it covered some of that. There was a challenge they had there as well. I did the challenge, but it wasn't during the time frame that they were asking to be done. I kind of got to it when the site was kind of dying, and I did it just because I wanted to see what I could do. And it was basically they dropped a white noise sample, and basically you had to create your own instruments and own sounds out of that specific sample. And there were rules, and you could only do certain things in the EQing, and you could only high pass it to so much and low pass it to so much, and that kind of stuff. So I found that site very helpful for when I was getting started doing industrial music and when I was considering purchasing gear and stuff like that. There was a more recent site in the 20 teens, I think, that is hosted by Michael Arthur Holloway. He's better known for the project Dead When I Found Her, and he has a blog called Knobs and Sliders, or he did. It's still there, but he doesn't really post very much anymore, if at all. That site is quite helpful, and gets into some of the more finer details of industrial music production. And actually his sound is kind of like kind of reminiscent of older Skinny Puppy and stuff like that. So there was another site called Coney Industrial. I don't know if you folks are familiar with that. That particular blog was it was kind of centered more around like industrial hardcore or industrial techno kind of stuff. I frequented it more for just the VSTs that he would post, and just stuff regarding that and details of various VSTs and stuff. And I think he actually made some of his own VSTs and stuff like that. I don't know if they're actually downloadable from the site anymore, but that is another resource. One resource that some of you may know about is a site called Gearslutz. Gearslutz.com, and that particular site, there was somebody had asked in one of the forums about how to create industrial music, kind of in the vein of Nine Inch Nails, and surprisingly, Charlie Clouser, who is known for playing synths in Nine Inch Nails during the Downward Spiral era, and as well as the Fragile era, he actually started commenting and actually becoming an active member of that particular forum post. And it's a long read, but it's totally worth it because you get to see, he goes into detail about the gear that was being used for some of the creation of those albums and some of the gear that they used live and stuff like that. And I can't quite remember because it's been a while since I've read it. I'm not sure if he goes into detail as far as like how to craft those particular sounds, but he does get into the gear that was used to make those sounds. So another blog is called that I used as a resource was Waveformless, which was Tom Shear of Assemblage 23. There's all kinds of gear reviews there and stuff like that, and VSTs, and I think he even dropped some of his own samples and stuff there as well. It was attached to, I think, his sample pack site or something like that. So now, as of more recently, there's the Reddit forums. I'm not too familiar with Reddit. I have barely used it. I don't even know if you can be a member of it because I really haven't used it very often. I usually, when I'm searching for industrial music production tips or whatever and Reddit pops up, I'll take a quick look and just see what's in there. I will include some links to some Reddit posts as well in the description of this video. And there's also tons of resources on YouTube and stuff like that, but a lot of it's not specific to industrial music, although there is some bands like Cell Dweller who does some, I think he gets into some production stuff, as well as Sebastian Comor of Comor Commando and Icon of Coil and all that kind of stuff. He has his own channel, and he goes a little bit more into detail when he's doing some of his sound design and some of his, I think he did a mastering one and maybe even a mixing one and all that kind of stuff, and how he does his sound and stuff like that. There's also Ken Hiwatt Marshall, who has a channel on YouTube, and as far as the stuff I've seen, it's more demonstrative. Like, he'll show you what he does, but he doesn't get into a lot of detail. He just kind of takes it from, okay, this is what it was before and this is what it is in the end, kind of thing. If I'm not mistaken, he's worked with Skinny Poppy and Frontline Assembly and various other bands in the scene. I think he's actually even working with the lead singer of Nitzer Ebb on a project called Blackline or something like that. I can't remember. It's something like that. But and yeah, I think those are all the resources currently that I've kind of compiled in that blog post, and I will be posting it in the description of this video as well. Just so you guys have it, and so you have something that you can take a look at if you're getting into industrial music and you're not sure where to start. There is one word of caution here. If you are new to industrial music, writing, recording, and production, don't get too caught up in what gear was used to achieve what sound and that type of shit, because in the end it really doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what gear you have or what gear you don't have. I've always said this is be resourceful and create the sounds with what you have. And whether you have a hardware synthesizer or you just use software and you're trying to get an idea of how to create certain sounds, and you're like, hey, I want to create a Nine Inch Nails sound. Well, or you want to create a sound in a specific way, use what you have and just go about it in that way, because you don't need to be buying stuff that you're not sure you want, and quite frankly nowadays it doesn't really matter. So that's it for this video. I just wanted to highlight some of the resources that I used in the past. There was a couple of other sites that I used, like there was one called Dark Sonus, and I still have the printout of their advice in regards to purchasing synthesizers and stuff like that. And I think from when I decided to purchase my synthesizer, I used that advice. But Unfortunately, that stuff I'm not entirely sure I'm allowed to repost. I'm probably not allowed to, so I will not be posting that on my own channels, because that's somebody else's content, and I wish you could have it, but you know, it's that site doesn't exist, and I don't know how to contact the person who originally wrote it in order to get permission from them. But if you are from Darktonus and you know that individual and you know what I'm talking about, get a hold of me, because I would like to, you know, possibly post that resource or whatever. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you find the links helpful. This is kind of where I started, and there was even other sites like Angel Spit did stuff, like Zug did his own thing on his website forum. Unfortunately, that's now gone, and there really isn't a lot of resources, and nowadays, like, you kind of have to search for them. So I just thought I would just be helpful and post the links in the description of this video. So I think that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you feel it has value, please share it with your friends. Hey, if you want to get involved in an industrial band, maybe some of these resources will help you out in getting started. If you have any other resources, please leave them in the comments. If you enjoy what's on this channel and you feel it has value, please subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified of the next video. So thank you for watching. Fuck yeah.